You're watching K34QB, Vail, Colorado.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for tuning in to your Thursday edition of Good Morning Vail. We've got a jam-packed show bringing you some great community information. Not only are we going to introduce you to the chamber down in Eagle, we're also going to inspire you to make some healthy fudge at home. If you're looking into franchising your business, well, then we've got all of the perfect answers with paths of freedom for you and so much more. But first, let's take a look at that local weather forecast after Good Morning Vail starts now.
Things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies has it all. So get up, get ready to start your day. The coffee's brewing, you're on your way. The fun is waiting outside your door. Good morning, Vail. Good morning, Vail.
Stevie Lee Woods presents Nashville Roadhouse Live, where country meets rock and roll.
It's where I drank my first beer, where I found Jesus, where I wrecked my first car, I tore it all to pieces. Join us every week for more live performances right here on Nashville Roadhouse Live.
Did you know that all Eagle County residents and visitors can get a free Eagle Valley Library District card? All you need is a photo ID. You get our online databases and resources, free music, free streaming, all from wherever you have internet access. Free audiobooks and e-audiobooks straight to your phone. Go into your Eagle Valley Library District branch today and get your library card.
Hi there! Are you ready to explore famous neighborhoods from New York City to Kentucky? Watch The Neighborhood with host Nicole Newman. Featuring famous people, unique history, and delicious places to eat and drink. Our viewers get an inside personal look at each neighborhood. With each episode we learn, grow, laugh, and live like a local, not just a visitor. Welcome to The Neighborhood. Check your local program schedule and tune in.
Are you interested in franchising your business? Well, then there's a great resource, and it's called Paths to Freedom. Well, Julio had the chance to interview the team and get you all the information that you might need to know. Let's hear what they have to say.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next guest is helping people on the path to freedom through business ownership. And to tell us a little bit about who he is, what he does, and how he does it, we have CEO and founder of Path to Freedom LLC, Wes Barefoot, joining us this morning. Wes, thank you so much for being with us today. How are you doing?
Doing fantastic. Thank you for having me, Julio.
Absolutely. I am super excited to be speaking with you and learn a little bit about more what you do. You know, we kind of always do a little bit of research before doing interviews like this, but I just think it's such a fascinating kind of focus that you do and that you help people on the path to freedom, as your business is called. So tell me a little bit about, let's kind of start there, how you got into this, what is Path to Freedom, and what do you do?
Yeah, so I'll start with just kind of quickly what Path to Freedom is. Yes. So, you know, my focus and mission is really just to help people take more control of their lives and create more freedom for themselves through business ownership. And, you know, my particular focus is franchise business ownership. So easiest way to think about it is what I do is very similar to a real estate agent, or you could even compare it to an executive recruiter. I don't work directly for any one specific franchise company. I did that earlier in my career, but now I have relationships with hundreds of the top franchise brands in the country. And I work with individuals that are interested in exploring business ownership, and in particularly franchise ownership. And, you know, we work through a very methodical process to help them get clear on exactly what their goals around business ownership are, what the characteristics of the ideal business would look like for them. And also, very importantly, what their day-to-day role as a business owner would ideally look like, and the type of lifestyle that they're really looking to accomplish. And in doing that, I'm able to recommend specific franchises that I work with and have relationships with that really meet the criteria that we've worked together to establish. And then, as you can imagine, you know, with any business opportunity that one may be considering investing in, there's a lot of due diligence that needs to happen. There's a lot of questions. There's a lot of information that needs to be gathered. And so, you know, there's a way to do that with any franchise out there. And so I guide people through that process and, you know, ultimately just give them the tools that they need to really assess franchise ownership and figure out if it's a path that could make sense for them. And if it is, you know, find the right franchise for them that's going to really set them up to accomplish what they're looking to do.
Yeah, well, that's interesting, Wes. So you're telling me I could, for example, become the owner of, I don't know, like a Pizza Hut or one of those big franchises that we kind of know and see around the U.S.?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, every one of those Pizza Huts or Subways or, you know, insert any big brand, you know, chain food restaurant that we all see all the time, those are owned by local franchise owners. And, you know, one of the challenges that I think a lot of times people don't foresee is that, you know, the really big established brands out there, it can be hard to find good viable territory left. And so, you know, a lot of the types of franchises I work with, first of all, are not in the food sector.
Okay.
Most people think of food when they think of franchising, and understandably so. But, you know, at any given time, there's roughly 4,000 active franchise companies across the U.S., and roughly half of those are food. And so a lot of times people are surprised, and in many cases pleasantly surprised, to realize that there are so many different types of franchise opportunities outside of the food sector, and a lot of up and coming franchises that have a lot of things going for them and some real upward trajectory. And that's where someone can really find some good opportunities, especially to capitalize on, you know, prime territory that some of these bigger, more established brands may no longer have available.
Yeah. Speaking of more well-known established brands, Wes, would you say that that's one of the benefits of franchising, or what are maybe some other benefits of this kind of path of entrepreneurship?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's interesting because the value that a franchise can add to their franchise owners certainly can be in the brand name and recognition, right? I mean, take Pizza Hut or McDonald's, for example. Like, a lot of the value the McDonald's franchisees get is from the brand recognition, right? You open a McDonald's up anywhere, people are going to come, they're going to know what to expect. In other types of franchises, the value may not be as much in the brand, especially if it's an up and coming brand. But there are ways that good franchises are adding value to their franchise owners. Buying power is a good example. The franchises my wife and I own are in the home service, home improvement category. And so, the brand names are not nearly as recognizable as McDonald's, but, because we as franchisees are all buying the same products and materials, we're able to leverage the volume with the manufacturers and suppliers that we work with to pretty significantly reduce our cost of goods. We can pass some of that savings on to our clients, but puts us in a position to operate the business in a more profitable manner. So that can look different depending on the type of business you're in, the industry that you're in. The one thing that any good franchise is going to really offer to their franchisees is good systems and processes. This is in particularly valuable in the early stages of starting the business. There's a lot of different statistics out there in terms of failure rates of new businesses. Yeah. And, don't get me wrong, buying a franchise is not guaranteed success. As the franchise owner, you still have to put in the work and the effort, and you have to follow the playbook, if you will. But the success rates increase dramatically for people buying into a franchise versus starting something on their own. And a lot of that has to do with training, with systems, with processes, with support, where, a good franchise can really decrease that learning curve for a new franchisee as they're getting started and learning the business.
Absolutely. Systems and processes, I think, are two probably of the most important things, especially as you mentioned, in kind of those early stages of the business. Really having those systems and processes that will work and that will be efficient and effective. I think that's a huge game changer. Wes, now 100%. I also know that you host the podcast Path to Freedom, where you kind of dive a little bit deeper into some of these topics. You have guests and all of that. So tell me a little bit about this podcast and what you do there.
Yeah, thank you. The podcast Path to Freedom is something I've been doing for coming up on 5 years now, which is kind of crazy to think about. And initially it was kind of designed to be a franchise specific podcast. Okay. And over the years, I've kind of evolved a little bit to be more of just an entrepreneurial podcast. Because, look, I'll be the first to admit to anyone that there's so many ways that one could get into business for themselves. And franchising is not a perfect business model. And like most things in this world, right, I mentioned earlier, 4,000 some franchise opportunities out there. They're not all created equally, right? There are, in my opinion, bad franchises that nobody should invest in. Right. There are entrepreneurs out there that would probably not thrive within the parameters of a franchise system, and some other, entrepreneurial path is likely to be better for them. I also know that a lot of people that end up really finding success in franchising, we're not necessarily setting out looking for a franchise, and they're certainly not out there searching for the next best franchise podcast to listen to. Okay. So I kind of, decided to cast a wider net. I say all that to really just say that, we talk a lot about franchising on the podcast. I interview a lot of the CEOs and founders of the specific franchise brands that I work with. I interview many other franchisees that have had success in their own right, with franchise ownership being a key part of that. My wife and I own franchises, so we certainly, share our stories and lessons that we've learned. But I've really had a lot of fun interviewing tons of other entrepreneurs that are not involved in franchising, but they have success and they have great stories and great strategies and tactics that they can share with the aspiring entrepreneur out there that, knows they want more than, just the corporate grind, if you will, and they're trying to figure out, what the best move for them is.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of those success stories, Wes, and those experiences, you have a lot of that. So what's kind of one piece of advice that you want to send out to people who maybe are thinking about franchising or don't know if that's right for them? What should they have in mind, or what advice do you give to them?
Yeah, I think just keep an open mind, right? I think a lot of times people just, assume that franchise ownership is like I mentioned earlier, nothing more than fast food, right? And they don't want to own a food business. And so they never really think much more about it. A lot of people, kind of assume that they're not in a financial position to get into a franchise business. There are a lot of lower cost franchise opportunities out there, there's also a lot of funding. You know, the SBA, the Small Business Administration, is probably the most common way that people fund franchise ventures. And most of the people that I've worked with have been pleasantly surprised to realize that there are very affordable franchise opportunities out there. So I think it's keep an open mind and it's do some research, right? And you know, my process is designed to be very consultative, you know, one-on-one with the individuals that I work with. And our goal is simply to educate them enough to determine if franchise ownership could make sense for them or not. And I look at it as a success if I'm able to help someone learn enough about franchising to realize that it's not a good fit for them, or that maybe the timing's not right. At least they figured that out before they made a large financial commitment. And now they can focus their efforts somewhere else because they took the time to really do some research and you know, get a good understanding of franchising. So I think it's keep an open mind. It's learn from other people that have done it. You know, I'm not the only franchise consultant out there. There's a lot of great franchise consultants, you know, but my wife and I, we've been down this path ourselves. We've certainly made mistakes and we try to learn from those mistakes. But, you know, I like to think that having worked on the franchisor side earlier in my career, you know, having bought and sold multiple franchise businesses, you know, I can use a lot of that real life experience to really coach and guide the people that I work with.
Yeah, absolutely. Keep an open mind and keep learning. I love those two tips there, those two pieces of advice for everyone thinking about going down this path. And if you're interested in learning more, you can visit FRDM.com, pathtofreedom.com for more information. Right, Wes?
That's right. Yep. And the podcast is the same. It's on any of the, you know, anywhere you listen to podcasts. We have a YouTube channel that we're constantly posting what I hope is good, valuable content too. So would be happy to chat with anyone that has questions about franchise ownership. If I could just kind of close with this, Julio, the way my business is set up, I compared it to a real estate agent or an executive recruiter earlier. The other comparison there is that my time and services are completely free to everyone that I work with. So there's no obligation. There's no, you know, other than keep an open mind, right? Yeah. And it does take some time to really go through the process the right way. But I get paid by the franchise companies I work with if and when I introduce them to someone that does go on to become a franchisee. So I've got time for anyone that is curious about business ownership, wants to learn more about franchising. You know, that's what I love to do. So there's a form on the website if anyone's curious and wants to set up a conversation. Would be more than happy to speak with them.
Awesome. Well, there you have it, folks. If you're interested in learning more about franchising, Wes is the man, the expert. Thank you so much for joining us, Wes, and sharing with us a little bit about your knowledge and your expertise. I appreciate your time.
Yeah. Hey, thank you so much for having me. Love the show and keep up the great work with it.
Likewise. Thank you so much, Wes. We're going to take a short break, but we'll be back with more of the show right after this, so stay tuned.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome aboard. Bobby Laurie and Nikki Noya have your ticket to everything you need for an on-the-go lifestyle. Grab your boarding pass. It's time to jet set.
This is Necklace. This easy-to-use, non-surgical alternative improves the appearance of sagging skin around your neck and jawline. Made from medical-grade tape, Necklace lasts up to 10 hours, giving you a firmer, smoother look all day long.
This is the one that works.
Starting on one side, peel off to expose adhesive and affix it beneath your earlobe. Stretch the strip around the back of your neck until it reaches the other side. Remove the white backing from the other end of the strip and attach under the other earlobe. Go ahead and take your hair down.
Wow, look at that! Necklace really is the one that works.
Women everywhere are thrilled with the results.
Necklace is my time machine and I'm loving life again.
Necklace is way better than surgery. It's cheaper and it's easier.
Oh wow, to fight 6 years off in here.
Well, I like it. It's like a mini facelift.
Oh, it totally works.
I think I need a box or two.
Use the on-screen QR code or visit sagnomore.com to order now. We even give you a money-back guarantee. Try Necklace today.
Learn the latest in science each week and how it relates to everyday life. From space exploration to plant biology to the latest in high-tech advances. Every new scientific development is explored and explained in an understandable way. Amazing stories each week. Watch Science Now.
Daily Flash Latino. Designed for the American Latino audience, Daily Flash Latino hosts Jessica Reyes and Fabian Marcano deliver their fresh perspective on the latest entertainment news, celebrity gossip, fashion, health, and more in both English and Spanish, aka Spanglish. Daily Flash Latino builds, connects, and celebrates the diverse Hispanic audience. Daily Flash Latino, trending news and entertainment with a splash of Spanglish.
You know TV8 Vail has great local content, but did you know about our production services? Hire an expert to develop your website reel, commercials, live stream events, studio production, and more. If you can dream it, we can help you do it. TV8 delivers high-quality content in both English and Spanish. Contact us today to discuss your next project. Email Danielle at tv8vail.com or call 970-628-9881.
The Paltrow Cast is an award-winning weekly series featuring exclusive interviews with entertainers, athletes, and other influencers. Tune in weekdays at 10 a.m. to see where the conversation takes us.
Paltrow Cast.
Good morning, Vail.
Our very own Danielle Turner made her way down to Eagle, where she had the chance to chat with the director of the Eagle Chamber and see all of the wonderful possibilities that are taking place down Valley. Let's hear what they have to say.
Hi, I'm Danielle Turner, the Vice President and General Manager of TV8 Vail. I'm excited to be in Eagle today at the Eagle Visitor Center alongside the Executive Director of the Eagle Chamber of Commerce, Michelle Morgan. Michelle, hi. So nice to see you.
So nice to see you. Thank you for coming down.
I'm excited to be here. Tell me what's going on in Eagle right now.
Well, there's a lot going on in Eagle. I don't know how long it's been since you've been down here, but we've got a bunch of new businesses opening. It's really blooming here. We've got 5 different districts in Eagle. We've got the Eagle's historic downtown district. It includes locally owned restaurants and bars, an abundance of retail shops, including a couple of home stores, clothing, flower and plant shops, a juice bar, wellness spas, studios, bike shops, and more. So definitely visit the downtown district of Eagle. We also have Eagle Ranch Village. It offers more, including a coffee shop, wine bar, indoor and outdoor dining restaurants, Capitol Movie Theater, a hair studio, fitness facility, professional services, and more. And then there's Chambers Avenue. I know it's hard to believe, but there's over 100 businesses that are composed of Chambers Avenue, including more restaurants and retail, more fitness facilities, recreation-based businesses, and so many more services for locals and visitors alike.
Wow.
Yes.
Michelle, Eagle is really booming.
I know. It really is.
It's incredible. Let's talk for a minute. If some of these businesses are not members of the Chamber of Commerce, why should they be?
Well, they should be for sure, and they should just reach out to me. We've got the Eagle Chamber membership offers business advocacy resources and an elevated voice of the local business community. We produce events that bridge the community, such as the annual Screaming Eagle Charity Golf Tournament. That's held in the spring each year, and we just had our 29th annual. The event was able to generate $23,000 donated to a local scholarship fund. But the Chamber provides a variety of consistent networking and marketing opportunities to the members, and this helps lift the local business community. One of those channels is through you and TV8, because you're so generous. You offer Chamber members a one-time free interview for any Eagle Chamber member, and they are loving that.
I'm so glad.
We thank you for that.
Oh, it's
benefit.
our pleasure. It's our pleasure. We are thrilled to support the Chamber and the local businesses. And we're also very excited about a new initiative that we're starting called Explore Eagle. And what that is an opportunity for local advertisers to spread the word about their businesses and keep the costs low by spreading that cost amongst some of their fellow businesses.
That's an excellent idea.
It's a great opportunity. Not everybody has a very large marketing budget.
Right.
And so now we can offer this service and allow people to promote the excitement that's happening in Eagle for a much lower dollar amount. So you can find details about that on our website at tv8vail.com. But I know that you've got a very exciting event coming up soon. It's almost Biztoberfest time, so let's talk about it.
I know it's getting pretty close. Yes, mark your calendar, everybody. Umbrella Roofing's Biztoberfest is coming back to Eagle this year on September 5th. This will be the second annual Biztoberfest, which is a local business expo amidst Oktoberfest. We've got local legend Helmut Fricker and the Alpine Echoes. They liven up this great event with traditional Bavarian music and entertainment, as you can imagine, as most of you know. And this includes men and women stein holding contests, dancing, pretzel making, all of the games and the joy that you'd expect is going to be here right in Eagle at the Brush Creek Pavilion on September 5th. And there will be food trucks, Oktoberfest foods, Biztoberfest beer and wine. By the way, every attendee gets one free Biztoberfest beer. And then after that, they're like $5 a piece. And we also have wine and lots of fun and interactive local business booth displays, including a chance to win $5,000 with the right cornhole shot with Martin Insurance at their tent.
Wow. Sounds like I better be practicing.
Yes, you should be practicing.
Okay. Now, I saw this lovely bag that you've got over here.
I did want to show you.
Show me what you've got there.
This great bag. We have a lot of great sponsorship opportunities. So, first of all, you can go to Eagle Chamber's website, go to September 5th on the calendar, and you can purchase a booth. But we also have sponsorship opportunities. And this is a great Biztoberfest tote. And we have these sponsorship positions available. Isn't this great? It's waterproof vinyl made by local MBS. And it's great for the pool, for the beach, for the hot springs. It's huge. Every attendee is going to get a free bag. Isn't that cool?
That's so fun. Every attendee gets a bag?
Yes, for free.
Wow, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
These are so useful.
I know. So you got to get your sponsorship logo on there. Excuse me.
And how many of these do you typically give away? How many attendees do we see?
We're expecting upwards of 300.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
Yeah.
So a great opportunity to market the business.
It is a great opportunity to market your business.
Wonderful. Michelle, thank you so much for having me out today and telling me a little bit about what's going on in Eagle.
Well, thank you for all you do for the Chamber and for the community. We so appreciate you.
Oh, absolutely. So for more information, visit us at tv8vail.com or visit
eaglechamber.co and go to the events calendar, September 5th, and look up Biztoberfest.
Excellent. What do you say, Michelle? You ready to go explore Eagle?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's do it.
All right.
Good morning, Vail.
It's time for the best coverage of the top stories in sports. The Sports Wrap with Jason Page starts now.
How do you make Anthony Edwards the face of your franchise if you're the Minnesota Timberwolves? We'll get into that.
And we say hello to our good friend Matt Verderam, who hangs out with us from SI.com. Their NFL insider, one of them, is hanging out with us on the program today.
Did you see Caitlin Clark last night? She put up a 40-burger, hits the game-winning three as time expires. Let's turn our attention to the Denver Broncos, one of the NFL's most dysfunctional situations.
The Sports Wrap with Jason Page.
From small towns to big cities and everywhere in between, we're covering the great things that are happening right now in the USA. This is Positively America with Ernie Anastas.
Each week, we're going to focus on the great things that are happening every day in the USA. We'll feature change makers.
In every older person, there's a younger person saying, how did this happen?
Innovators.
I talk about design the way some people might talk about like the person they're in love with.
Doers and dreamers.
You can use that recognition to pay it forward.
Ordinary Americans accomplishing extraordinary things.
When you smile, you receive one back most of the time.
We're going to prove to you that optimism and hope are paving the way to an even brighter tomorrow.
We've got a lot of programs that are specifically focused on the children of our fallen heroes.
At Positively America, our mission is to feature good news.
For the latest and greatest trends in pop entertainment, Popstar Today brings you compelling celebrity lifestyle stories that matter most to you. From movies, music, TV, and streaming shows, to fashion, social media influencers, and the latest on who is seeing who. Join host Elizabeth Stanton as she digs deep and dives in. This is Popstar Today.
TV8, there's more for you on 92. Serving the local community 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Good morning, Vail.
Do you love fudge? And it has so much sugar in it. Well, there's a way to make it healthy, and we're going to step into the kitchen with Kim, who's going to teach us how we can make fudge nice and healthy for us. Let's take a look.
Well, welcome back and thanks for joining me in the kitchen. And I am so excited about this next recipe because it blends my two favorite things, healthy protein and chocolate. We are making a 2-ingredient fudge. Now, I know you like to be a little bit decadent when you're eating that delicious traditional fudge, but when you are really trying to focus on your health and what you put into your body, this is a really excellent option as well because it's high in protein, and then you've got your normal chocolate. So we're going to compromise a little bit, and we're going with the semi-sweet chocolate chips, but if you wanted to be aware of your sugar content, you can try like the Lily's brand, or Enjoy is also a brand that I really like. They have less ingredients, but we're going to compromise here with semi-sweet Toll House chocolate chips in the middle. And then here's the secret ingredient. We also have low-fat cottage cheese. The cottage cheese is a great blend. It actually is a really good consistency and is a great ingredient that matches with others where it doesn't taste so cheesy. It's excellent to put in dips. It's a great replacement for things, but we're going to use it for our 2-ingredient fudge today. So we've got the chocolate chips and the cottage cheese. What we're going to do is we're going to start with our chocolate chips and we're going to melt them down because you need it to be nice and melted, and then it gets blended with our cottage cheese in the blender here. So easy, 2 ingredients. We need about 1 full cup of chocolate chips. So you can eye it if you want to, or we can just kind of pour it in here and see what happens. If you wanted to make a half recipe, you do about one half a cup of chocolate chips. Looks like I didn't cut my hole big enough here. So I'm just going to put this here, just kind of shake it out there, or as my mom likes to do, faster time effort, just rip it open a little bit more. There we go. So we're doing 1 cup of chocolate chips, and we're going to go ahead and get started. You can melt it really quickly in the microwave, or if you just want to take your time with it and really feel the process, we're going to stir it in a pot over medium to medium-low heat. You just want the chocolate to melt. You don't want to burn it. So this is a great melting chocolate. Other chocolates sometimes do not melt as well, and you may have to use a double boiler. But we're just going to pour these chocolate chips in here. So we've got 1 cup of chocolate chips. I'm going to move these off to the side, and we're going to let them start to melt down. You want to monitor it just by kind of stirring it. As you can see, it's already starting to sizzle in the pan. We'll lower the heat just a little bit, but we just need it to be nice and melted. And as it continues to melt down, again, you can use a microwave for this, but you just want to be very conscious of the kinds of chocolate chips that you use. Some of the properties in chocolate chips actually have a special ingredient in them that keep them from melting. So let's say you wanted to put it into a chocolate chip cookie, but you wanted to save its shape. You need to be on the lookout for chocolate that actually is meltable. So we'll just stir it down. As you can see, it's starting to melt really, really nicely here. We're going to keep it going. Again, you can just keep this in the microwave if you wanted to. I love the smell of melting chocolate chips. This kind of reminds me of my Saturday mornings with my dad. When I was growing up, he would make us chocolate chip pancakes every morning. I could smell the chocolate chips burning on the skillet, and that's when I knew it was time to get up in the mornings. One of my favorite childhood memories, for sure. Okay, it melts really quickly, as you can see, so you don't want to burn your chocolate. We're going to go ahead and melt this down just like this. It's melting. It looks great. All right. If you have a whisk is a great way to really break up all those chocolate pieces. So it's going to be nice and thick, and that's how we're going to maintain our fudge-like texture. So we're shaking some of this out here. Then I'm going to turn off my stove. Before you do anything, always make sure you turn off that stove. All right. We'll put that down. We're going to take the lid off of our blender here. Now, you can use a spoon or a spatula, and we're just going to scoop all of this deliciously melted chocolate into our blender. Now, again, this is going to be thick, so it's not going to be boiled down. You can kind of see here that it's got this, like, very thick consistency. It's not going to be liquidy like it would be if it were like a melted chocolate syrup. You know, we didn't add any coconut oil to it. You could possibly add some additional coconut oil to this just to thin it out. But again, fudge isn't thin. We don't want a really thin fudge, and we want this to be simple with 2 ingredients. So getting all that nice and delicious chocolate out into the blender. I know what I'll be doing after this. I'll be licking this pot clean because, man, I love the smell of chocolate, and I like the taste even better. We're just scraping it out. Looks good, looks good. Okay. All right, I'd say we're done with that. We've got a little bit of chocolate residue left, but again, doesn't really matter. This is really to taste. So if you wanted it more chocolatey, you could put a little more chocolate in, but we're going to try to stick to the basics as best as possible. Now, we've got our cottage cheese. You want 1.5 cups if you're making a single portion and 3 cups if you're making double. We're doubling it up because who doesn't want more fudge, especially when it's a healthy version of it. So we're going to do about 2.5 to 3 cups depending on what that looks like, and we're just measuring it out here. And again, it really doesn't matter what brand of cottage cheese you use or what kind of consistency. It's going to get blended in with our chocolate anyway, so no big deal. All right, we're coming up on that 2 cups here, and we'll just kind of put the remainder. Yeah, looks good to me. Awesome. You know what? I'm just going right in. We're going to just put the whole container in because it's about 3 cups in a whole cottage cheese container anyways. All right, scooping it out. Looking great there. Let's add this here. All right. I know you're probably thinking, what? Cottage cheese and chocolate? Yes, cottage cheese and chocolate. It's going to be great. You can never go wrong with cheese and chocolate, in my opinion. Now, we'll do that. And then we're just going to blend it together until it's nice and smooth. So it might take a minute depending on the speed of your blender, but we're just going to go ahead and get started. As you can see, it's nice and thick. Sometimes you may need to add a little bit of additional, like we'll add just a little bit of water to it just to make it nice and liquidy. And we'll do that now. Like I mentioned, it will be nice and thick. We're not going to put a ton of liquid in here, but just a little bit, just to get things rolling. You can do water, you can do additional milk if you want to, but we're just going to go ahead and stir that around and get it going in this blender. All right, here we go. And that is it. If you wanted to be fancy, you could probably add some salt onto the top of it. It's going to take some time. It's a slower blender, so it really just depends on, you can see it moving there. Let's see. Let's see. Just pressing all the buttons to get it going. Yep, starting to blend together. Just a little bit. You can see it kind of mixing up there in the bottom. So one of the things that I would do as well is just take your spoon here, help stir it up, help get things going, just like that. Oh yeah, look at that consistency. It's starting to blend together. As I said, it will be thick, so it's just going to take time to get through it. You might have to blend it, or you can always make it in batches if you feel like your blender can't handle that amount. I'm just going to keep blending it. It's looking good. It's slowly getting there. We're working our way down. Switch it up a little bit. Looking great. Let's see if we can stir it up and see what happens here. All right. Yep, blending in, looking good. Oh yeah, there's that consistency kind of getting through that. Again, it's going to be thick, so if you feel like you need to add a little bit more to it, you can. But again, you don't want to add too much liquid, but we do want to keep it rolling a little bit so it starts to blend together. Awesome, looking good. Yeah, we're getting there, slowly but surely. We are definitely getting there with our fudge. We can do it on like the milkshake setting, that's a good one. You might not be able to see it, but I can see it moving around on the inside here. Just taking its time. All right, I'll put that on high, there we go. Yep, it's just blending slowly. You can't tell on the inside, but it is blending. It's looking good. We're getting in there. Oh yeah, now it's starting to move around with that extra liquid. You can hear it. Looking great. I might take it off and give it another little stir. There we go. We'll take this lid off. Give it another little stir to make sure that the liquid is getting towards the bottom there. And then again, what you want to have on hand, we're going to just pop this in the freezer for a few hours. You want some parchment paper and a glass dish to do that with. We're almost there, looking great. I'm just going to keep on keeping on this stirring action. Oh my gosh, it smells like fudge. I can tell you that. It does not smell like cottage cheese. It is fudge to a T. So I cannot wait to check this out. Here we go. Getting a little bit more to go. Just continuing to blend it and to blend it. So it's a thicker consistency than a milkshake would be. We're getting there. It's just going to take a little bit of time because, this is it's an old trusty blender here that we are rocking it and rolling with here on set. All right, let's take it out. Check it one more time. We've got just a little bit more of those cottage cheese clumps, but you can kind of just see here. Look at that texture. You see that? It just looks nice and blended. So we'll blend it just a couple more seconds just to make sure we get through everything. And then we're just going to pour it into our dish, into our batter, to make sure that we are good to go on it. Oh yeah, look at how good and thick that is. Just a little bit longer and we're going to be done with the blend. Our 2-ingredient fudge will be complete. All we'll have to do is pop it into the freezer to make it rock and roll. So we've just got one last round of the blend here. Oh, it looks great, guys. I'm telling you, I'm trying not to take a spoon and just eat it right away. Yeah, looking awesome. We are almost done, almost done. I always like to take a peek this way as well. All right. I'm going to go ahead and say I think we're finished. So before we pour that in, here's a trick. I don't know if you know this trick with parchment paper. We're probably going to need, yep, looks good to me. So what we're going to do is just wet it just a little bit. If you didn't know this trick, it helps kind of crumple it up a little bit better so that you can actually shape it to your dish, which is a fun trick that I just found out about. Thank you to the TikTok and the internet. All right, so our parchment paper looking good in the dish. And this is just so we can easily peel it out of our dish once it's frozen. So we probably freeze it, at least a couple of hours. I would recommend overnight, but it'll be just a delicious little protein, healthy, high treat. We're just scooping all of that delicious chocolatey goodness. Oh my gosh, there is so much of it in here. And we're going to be eating fudge for days here at TV8 and beyond. Awesome. Looking good. You can see that consistency. It's a nice light color. It smells good. It smells like chocolate. We're just going to scrape this out as best we can. All right. I'm about to get chocolate all over my hands, but it'll be something delicious to look forward to at the end of this cooking segment here. All right, there we go. Fudge is done, or at least in its liquid form. We're going to smooth it out just like that. Oh my gosh, it looks great. It almost looks like a chocolate pudding. And you probably honestly could just eat this as a chocolate pudding if you wanted to. Again, if you don't like cottage cheese, that's okay. You could probably sub in some Greek yogurt, or you could do a combination of Greek yogurt and cottage cheese. But again, protein heavy, delicious, not as indulgent or as bad for you as normal fudge, but there it is. We'll just pop it into the freezer and we'll show you the results shortly after. We'll be right back. Now, I let my fudge set in the freezer for a few hours. I went about, did my own thing, did a little bit of my laundry and all of that fun stuff if I were making this at home. So we're going to go ahead and take it out. As you can see, thanks to the wax paper, it comes right out of our glass tin here. And it starts to melt a little bit. We did let it sit out for a bit in room temperature. I'm going to flip it over just like that. It might not be the prettiest, but we let it sit. It's going to look great. And that is it. Our fudge sat for 3 to 4 hours in the freezer. We did let it melt or come up to room temperature a little bit more. And you always want to keep it in the fridge, but maybe cut it on a plate that's like this. That's not indented so that it doesn't break in the middle. But oh my goodness, look at that. 2-ingredient fudge. It's got chocolate chips and cottage cheese. I'm going to taste it. Oh my gosh. It's great. This will satisfy my sweet tooth any day. If you want the recipe, let me know and we'll share it with you in the comments.
Good morning, Vail.
Join us on the famous Leadville Railroad. This historic train ride takes you on an unforgettable trip through the heart of the Rockies for an afternoon of adventure, relaxation, and sightseeing. Our scenic train rides are a perfect place to bring families closer together while immersing them in the natural beauty and rich history of this picturesque region. Enjoy the spectacular Colorado scenery. Even meet the engineer. Make memories that will last a lifetime. Tickets available at LeadvilleRailroad.com.
We are here at Rugs Benedict in Avon with one of the owners, Mandy Benedict. Mandy, how are we doing today?
Fantastic. Great morning.
And today we are talking about waterproof flooring, which is so important out here in the Rocky Mountains, whether you're winter skiing, snowboarding, and you got wet boots, or in the summer and you're playing outside. But waterproof flooring, tell me about it.
So it's really fantastic for our busy mountain lifestyle. And like you mentioned, whether it's ski boot traffic, a rental area, or if you just have some furry friends that like to go play in the creeks and run into the house, it's a great option for having that beautiful wood floor look, but having something that's not so sensitive to moisture.
Definitely, and this is obviously great for kind of one of those entrance rooms or a mud room, or also just an entire house made with this, right?
Yeah, we definitely have been doing entire homes with this floor. If you have, big dogs, they're very, very scratch resistant as well. So if you have things like whether big dogs or kids, heavy traffic, like I mentioned, great for rental environments or just busy mountain lifestyles where you don't want to have to kind of be a slave to your floor. This is very durable.
Definitely. And we have so many options here and different warranties that come with each one. But let's take a look at some of these, right?
Yeah, so really any color that you're looking for, any style. If you want a reclaimed look, if you want a marble look, if you're looking for just a really sleek European oak or a walnut floor, we have anything that will, look like wood or look like stone and tile that we can do with this waterproof flooring.
Yeah, and it all looks so beautiful here in the shop in Avon at Rugs Benedict. What do people need to know about waterproof flooring?
The waterproof flooring, there are quite a few different things as far as like sound abatement. We work with a lot of condo associations. There are specific underlayments that you need to use and installation requirements. So our in-house employee installers are amazing at that, but we come out and do free estimates. So basically anything you need to know, our flooring design team and our estimators will clue you in on everything perfect for your property.
I love that. Rugs Benedict, so much more than rugs. All your flooring needs here. Anything else I should ask? Anything else people should know about waterproof flooring?
Just come in and explore, see all the options that there are.
Come on down to Rugs Benedict here in Avon and check out your next flooring project.
Take the first game every one of us played in the schoolyard. Turn up the degree of difficulty to maximum, and then let loose some of the fastest and most agile athletes in the world to go one-on-one in what you have is the most extreme pursuit contest you've ever known. It's intense, it's addictive, and there's only one rule. Don't get caught.
Oh my gosh. If you haven't seen World Chase Tag before, here's how it works.
2 teams of up to 6 athletes compete in a series of one-on-one chases. Each chase lasts up to 20 seconds and has 1 chaser and 1 evader.
Opportunity to points on the board! Oh!
Whoever wins the duel stays on as the evader, and teams get 1 point for each evasion they make.
And it looks like the opening point for this contest.
It's the best of 16 chases to win the match, with a sudden death chase-off required to break any ties. It's win or go home from now on. Don't miss it.
Welcome to Hiring America, the television program that helps veterans find jobs and transition back into civilian life. Hi everyone, I'm Gigi Stone Woods. I'm truly honored to host this vital program. Reach out to the opportunities you see on this program by logging onto our website, hiringamerica.net, and by following us on social networking sites such as Twitter. We'll keep that information available throughout the broadcast and on our website 24/7. Now, let's get down to business.
Good morning, Vail.
Joyce Brewer of MommyTalkShow.com has some great tips and tricks on how you can keep the kiddos entertained for the rest of the summer. And so we're excited to introduce her to you right now.
Hi, I'm Joyce Brewer, the creator and host of MommyTalkShow.com. I love to share parenting news and information with parents about travel and all things fun. So if you're starting to feel like summer is slipping away from you, don't worry, we've got you covered. One of the things I love to share with my Mommy Talk Show viewers is how my family has been traveling this summer. For the first time in 15 years, my husband and I took a child-free trip. It was amazing. Our son has gone to 2 sleepaway camps that he's loved, and you can still make memories too if you feel like, oh my gosh, I don't have time before school starts. We have got you covered. One of the best ways to make memories and have a great time is over a delicious family meal. Bush's Baked Beans make summer menus even more fun. Whether you're firing up the grill for a backyard barbecue, packing a picnic for the park, or hosting a festive gathering with friends and family, Bush's Baked Beans bring the flavor and fun to summertime occasions. They're the perfect pairing, whether you're serving hot dogs and hamburgers or other family faves. The sweet taste blends together perfectly, enhancing each dish and making it complete. From the original to 0 sugar added, Bush's has a variety of flavors. Now, if you want to plan a family vacation, it's an easy way to create memories. I love Decameron All-Inclusive Resorts, a partner of Wyndham Hotels and Resorts. They have one-of-a-kind hotels at great price points and tropical paradises like Jamaica, Panama, and Mexico. Think all-inclusive resorts with stunning beaches, expansive pools, diverse dining options that even picky eaters will love, daily fun for your kids, and lively evening entertainment. Best of all, they're running a great promotion now to get up to 40% off your next stay. Head over to wyndhamhotels.com/Decameron for all the details. Now let's talk about fun tech. If your children love gaming and music, this is exactly what they want. The Roku Smart Light Strips are perfect for setting the mood and adding color to any space this summer with 16 million colors, voice control, effortless scheduling, music sync, and compatibility with Roku Voice, Alexa, and Google Home. They are ideal for your smart home. You can find them on Amazon. They're $17 off during Amazon Prime Days. Plus, find more great Roku deals, including products as low as $15 and discounts as high as $400 off. Visit Amazon.com/Roku for these amazing Prime Day offers. And for all of this information on making a memorable summer, visit tipsontv.com.
We want to thank you so much for tuning in to your Thursday edition of Good Morning Vail. We love getting to be here to bring you all of this wonderful community information, get you inspired to get out, explore, maybe see some of the great businesses that are down in Eagle, maybe help improve your home with some waterproof flooring, maybe help improve your lifestyle and diet with some healthy fudge, and always so much more. Make sure that you tune in tomorrow for your Friday edition of Good Morning Vail, and we'll see you then.
Good morning, Vail. See what lies in store for you. There's so many things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. You're home in the Rockies.